Good evening. Welcome. I am your host this evening, Nikki Reeson. And if you guys could just do me the pleasure of standing for the national anthem, please. Miss Kayla Johnson. Kayla's going to sing. I'm not singing. You wouldn't want to hear that.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very nice, Kayla. Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for coming to the 14th Annual People's Choice Awards. I'd like to give a special welcome to our board president, Ms. Linda Eckenhoff, who is here tonight. Welcome to this prestigious night where 55 of our students have been chosen as someone's People's Choice. They were chosen among a student body that consists of exceptional and admirable youths. Of all awards that are bestowed upon high school students, I believe that the People's Choice is one of the most noble to receive. Seneca gives the opportunity to receive athletic awards, academic awards, student of the month, etc., all outstanding achievements. What I like best about People's Choice is the fact that these fine young men and women are being recognized for having good souls, for being good human beings. And isn't that what we want for our kids? Of course, we want them to be intellectuals, rational thinkers, problem solvers. And if they can run fast and throw or catch a ball faster than other people, that's nice too. But if they can touch someone's life or make someone smile or laugh or warm someone's heart, then your job as parents and our job as educators is done. I'm sure that there were times when you doubted some of your parental decisions and you were challenged through the process of raising the students who are here on this stage to my left. I think that any doubts that you may have had should dissolve from this moment forward. The fact that they are being recognized by their teachers, counselors, administrators, coaches, advisors, etc., that should speak volumes to the fact that you did something right. So please give yourself and others in the audience a hearty round of applause for helping to mold these outstanding people here on stage. Now I would like to introduce our principal, Mr. Jeff Spector.
I've heard Kayla sing a lot, but I've never heard her sing by herself. Kayla, that was awesome. Let me begin by thanking Mrs. Eckenhoff and our staff in the back there for participating in tonight's program. Give them a round of applause. And also for Ms. Wiesen for hosting. Thank you very much. Let me also thank our Renaissance Club. They host this evening along with their advisors, Mrs. McMichael and Mrs. Mikowski. Not only with this evening's program, but all the wonderful things that they do for our school. I heard somebody clap. Yeah, let's clap for them too. For your information, Renaissance is a school club that in simple terms recognizes students and staff for doing the ordinary extraordinary. Let me also take the opportunity to thank their staff and all of you for being here. This evening is not only about recognizing our students, it is also about you taking the effort to connect with the students and allowing them to touch all of our hearts. To the students here tonight, congratulations. I got to turn and face you. You are not here by accident. You have done something remarkable. You have touched the life of another person, the most powerful thing you can do. I've taken the time to read what each of your teachers have to say about you tonight. Some are for one-time interactions, some for a year-long or four-year interactions, and some for a random act of kindness. You see, whether or not you know it, you have the ability to move others. You may not know who nominated you, but when you touch other people, you may never know the impact that you've had. Teachers assess you by a test, a grade, or class participation. Tonight you get an A in human relations. Strive to make that a lifelong endeavor. On behalf of our staff, thank you for touching our lives, for making our job so much more than a job, and for enriching our lives. Thank you for making Seneca High School a better place, and thank you for just being you. Please join me in giving our students a round of applause. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
All right, so without further ado, let's the presentation of the awards. And first up is Mrs. Najimi.
Good evening. My People's Choice Award goes to Alyssa Baker. Although Alyssa is somewhat quiet and reserved, she always has a smile on her face. Every time I see Alyssa, she greets me with a sincere hello and asks me how my day is going. This simple yet genuine gesture makes my mornings brighter. In class, Alyssa displays a positive attitude, always puts forth her best effort, and is kind to all of her classmates. I am grateful for having this opportunity to recognize Alyssa for the great young woman she is. Go over here, I think, right? Oh, sorry. The next presenter is Mr. Seeley.
Sorry, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Walter's going to get upset with me. I wanted to do a quick shout out to my crew that's come out and helped me every single event this year. So big thank you for them. And now, thank you. And now I'd like to call my People's Choice winner, Sophia Sino. Okay, so whether she is shouting, "Hi, Mr. Seeley," from across the hall, or popping into my room on the way to another class just to also shout, "Hi, Mr. Seeley," Sophia always says it with a pure smile. Sophia might also be the first freshman student I've ever had to walk up to me with a completed script and ask me if she can make a short film simply for a side project. This is not for a grade. This is simply to get the experience. Creative and passionate, I feel we'll be seeing big things from this young woman in the future. Sophia Sino. And it is now my privilege to introduce you to Mr. Greg Bauer.
Good evening. Congratulations to all of our nominees. It's always difficult to pick just one kid out of all the great kids we have here at Seneca. This year, though, my People's Choice Award goes to Bella Grungo. Bella, quite simply, is an outstanding young lady. Even though the material is not always easy for her to grasp, she gives her very best effort each and every day in class. She participates on a daily basis and is a great addition to any classroom. Bella is hardworking, diligent, kind, and respectful. She is the kind of kid that teachers love to have in class, and I would trust her and have trusted her with my kids. I know that she will do great things in her life, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to teach her. Bella Grungo. Our next presenter is Mrs. Zerone.
Good evening. I am proud to invite Zachary Henry to the podium as my People's Choice nominee. It is my good fortune to have Zachary Henry in 2 of my classes. Double Zach is awesome because he is such a great kid. Zach always puts 110% effort into his academics, and his grades reflect it. Zach is attentive, cooperative, and respectful during instruction, and he consistently participates. But it is Zach's contagious good nature that sets him apart from other students, and I knew back in September that he would be my People's Choice recipient. Zach is funny, positive, energetic, kind, and caring, and a day doesn't go by that he doesn't ask how I am doing. I know he really cares about my response. Thank you, Zach, for making me smile each and every day. Congratulations, you are a one-of-a-kind, amazing person who truly deserves this honor. You don't have to spend much time with Zach to find out that he loves candy and is a whiz at mazes. This is a care package of both to enjoy this summer. However, if I know him at all, it won't last through the weekend. Congratulations, Zach. Follow me, okay? And now here is Mrs. Wolfson.
Good evening. My People's Choice Award goes to Ainsley Yodelbauer. In September, Ainsley walked through our doors, unsure of what high school had to offer, but quickly established herself as a classroom leader. During our daily discussions, Ainsley shares her knowledge, passion for learning, and personal stories as they relate to what we are studying in class. She is a role model for her peers who respect her compassionate, fun, and charismatic approach to life. Ainsley is mature and reflective. She has a positive outlook on life and a warm, welcoming smile on her face. She is also someone I can always count on to ask, "Did you grade mine yet?" 5 minutes after I've collected 60 essays and tests of other classes. Ainsley, wear this award proudly and let it be a reminder to continue to strive for excellence and to follow your dreams. I have no doubt that you will be a successful student at Seneca. Congratulations. Our next presenter is Ms. Mikowski.
My People's Choice nominee is Kylie Mitchell. Did you know her name? Kylie is truly one of a kind. I am so fortunate to have her both as a student and as a runner this year. I have never met a freshman with more confidence, compassion, and a love for life. Her laughter is contagious, and she has brought so much joy into my life this year. Don't cry. My first year as the head track coach has been made special by Kylie, and I do not have to wait until practice to enjoy her presence. Seneca is truly fortunate to have her for another 3 years, and I look forward to watching her grow and accomplish her goals as both a student and as an athlete. I'll miss you next year in class, Kylie, but I'm so happy I still get to coach you for the next 3 years. No, she's not. Next up is Mrs. Crothers.
My People's Choice nominee is Brooke Perry. Brooke had no idea when she walked into my room with another student last winter that she would be the girls' varsity lacrosse manager this spring. On a whim, Brooke agreed to take the job, and I am so glad she did because I couldn't ask for a better manager. She's reliable, funny, and just a great girl to be around. I really appreciate the time she has taken to be a member of our team. Next up is Mr. Carr speaking on behalf of Mr. Kirby.
All right, unfortunately, Mr. Kirby couldn't be here tonight, but he chose Zachary Phillips for his People's Choice Award.
Great to see you, Coach.
You too, Zach. So Mr. Kirby said, Zach challenges himself each day to prove his ability while demonstrating both retention and assimilation of the material in class. He has become very successful and has a great chance at not only earning an A for the year, but a very high one at that. So what am I most proud of you, Zach? I'm very most proud of your willingness to help others in class, and you have done so on numerous occasions. Even more than this, I love how quickly you're able to put a smile on people's faces by simply being you. A classroom environment has a direct correlation to the skills attained. You, Zach, are a key contributor to our rapport. You are very deserving of this award. Keep impressing people. Zach, I'm very proud of you, and for this, you are my People's Choice Award for 2017. Next up is Mrs. Witz.
My People's Choice nominee is Kirsten Emmenecker. You could say Kirsten and I had a little bit of a rough start when I started in October. But when she came in class the following day, she knew she had made a mistake. Since then, it is a pleasure to see her every day. She is always smiling, says hello in the hallways, always asks about my kids. I have enjoyed getting to know her as we work on Algebra 2 and Geometry during study hall. Her cheerful demeanor always brightens my day. Congratulations. Next up is Mrs. McCluskey.
So my People's Choice is always positive, extremely bright, personable, ready to try any new class activity, and always smiling, especially when planning something mischievous. My People's Choice is always volunteering for everything. I'll go first. I'll do the fashion show. I'll take something to the office. I'll put something on the shelf. I'll work the color run. Oh no, Mrs. McCluskey, I won't throw color in the runners' faces. Well, my People's Choice has a well-hidden mischievous side that brings a smile and makes me laugh. My People's Choice has that well-hidden mischievous side, although that smile gives him away. He gets this smile that says, I'm really a good kid, but I really want to do something McCluskey will be shocked about. And here's the proof. The ultimate rascally move is when he blames Carl in the classroom, although they all blame Carl for everything. Sometimes he even throws Eric or Scott under the bus, but always with a smile. I will truly miss Tommy in my class. I'll be releasing him to the realm of Collins next year in hopes that he'll be able to pull a couple over on her as well, but I doubt it, so be careful. Although that smile will probably work, thank you for bringing so many laughs to the class this year. You and your mates will be sorely missed.
Should I take this?
And next is Mrs. McMichael.
My pupil's choice is Julia Nieves. Julia is a breath of fresh air in the classroom. She's a model student who tries her best every day and always strives to understand the material. She asks great questions, is always willing to help her peers, and makes me laugh daily. She's a delight to have in class, and I know she's going to accomplish a lot in her life. Julia, thanks for being such a great student. Next is Mrs. Wilden.
A poem by Waldo Emerson called Success makes me think of my candidate for People's Choice Award, McKenna Schultz. She is someone who is respected for her intelligence, who appreciates honesty and beauty, and who finds the best in others. McKenna is someone who will leave the world better than when she entered it, and someone who has touched the lives of many. To quote Mr. Emerson, this is to have succeeded. McKenna, I really feel if you were born in Emerson's time, you would have been his muse for this poem. Congratulations. And next up is Mr. Castle.
Teaching is the greatest profession. I get to interact with great kids every day, students just like these, and they're a testament to great parenting. And as a father of 3 kids, I can't underestimate that. Each year of my career is a new chapter, and with each chapter written, new faces with the same great character. I'm grateful that my People's Choice Award winner is part of my story, and she's a great ambassador for teenagers, Samantha Durkis. If you could make a student in a laboratory mixing 1 part enthusiasm, 1 part empathy, 2 parts passion, and 3 parts positivity, you get someone exactly like Sam. I've been fortunate enough to meet and teach great students of high caliber who are even better people. Sam ranks among them for her positivity, her genuine love of learning, and her steadfast commitment to humanity, and for simply being her. Class is always better with Sam in it, and that's why she's my People's Choice Award winner. And next up, Miss Burke.
My People's Choice is Kayla Johnson. Kayla Johnson illustrates the definition of the all-around Seneca student. Her hardworking attitude and leadership can be seen throughout the hallways, the fields, and the community. Her positive attitude and approach to any situation is always encouraging, words, smiles, and of course her laugh. All right, she will lend a helping hand without being told. She's a great listener to many peers and teammates. They trust her and respect her the most. Kayla is truly deserving of this award, and I know that she will carry these attributes and more as she enters into her senior year. Congrats. Next up is Mr. Carr.
My People's Choice Award goes to Blake Olson. Simply put, Blake is an exemplar high school student. Whether it's working in the classroom or participating in athletics, Blake will always give 110% effort. His sense of humor keeps his classmates, teammates, teachers, and coaches smiling, and he's the first person to lend a helping hand to someone in need. I admire Blake for his ability to see the big picture in life at such a young age. He recognizes the importance of goal setting and working hard to complete any and all tasks at hand, but he's also sure to make time throughout the day for a few jokes and some laughter. Whether it's a quick talk about our golf games, which often turns into him challenging me to a one-on-one match, or questions about what to expect in college, a conversation with Blake Olson is always entertaining. Thank you for being you, Blake. Next up is Ms. Salveson.
Congratulations to all of our nominees tonight. I see a lot of great, fantastic faces up there. I'm honored tonight to share my People's Choice Award to Jared Worrell. Jared has inspired me with his courage, his persistence, and his strength. His contributions in the classroom will leave a lasting mark on my heart forever, and everyone in that room. I want to thank Jared tonight for teaching me and his peers more than what any textbook ever could, and for giving me the best teaching moment I've had in my career. Thank you, Jared. Next is Mrs. Rondinelli.
So I've been really looking forward to this. Gives me an opportunity to brag about this person a little bit. So it is my pleasure to introduce Tim Reddy as my People's Choice. So Tim was a student in my environmental science class his freshman year. And as soon as I met him, I was well aware that this is a young man with a strong will and a mind of his own. Tim is a true independent thinker, and he's not easily swayed by his peers. This is a quality I don't think we really see that often in teenagers, and this is something I respect so much in Tim. Tim will tell you this, that his ride here at Seneca has not always been smooth and easy, but Tim has persevered and overcome any and all obstacles that have gotten in his way. He is a kind soul with a big heart, and that's something he tries to hide behind a very tough exterior sometimes. He puts a smile on my face every single time I see him, including now, and I am so very proud of this young man, and I know he's going to be a huge success as an adult. Congratulations and happy graduation. You deserve it. Next up is Miss Devine.
I'm actually up here tonight. I'm reading for Miss Seshan, who wishes she could be here, but she's on the band trip in Virginia. Miss Seshan's People's Choice Award is Ash Albiser. 4 years ago, Ash walked into my Foundations of Art class, a shy and awkward freshman with thick-rimmed glasses and long dark hair. But even though she tried to hide behind the frames in her favorite black hoodie, I could tell she had a special sparkle in her eyes. Once we realized we both shared a love for wedging clay in art museums, I knew we would get along just fine. They say that time flies when you're having fun, and that definitely rings true when I think about the time we've spent together over the last 4 years. You may still wear glasses in your signature hoodies, but you no longer hide under any hood or behind any frames. You stand tall, walking the halls of Seneca like you should, confident and beautiful. Ash, you are my pick for the People's Choice Award for many reasons. You want to be an art teacher, which is obviously the coolest job out there. You laugh at all my really bad jokes, and your jokes are just as bad as mine. You are nice to everyone, and you go out of your way to give others a hand. You always tell me, "Seesh, I got your back," and I know you mean it. You stand up for what you believe in and you fight for the underdog. You are fun to talk to and you're a good listener. You take on leadership roles when given the opportunity and you follow through on your word. You are an awesome example of how hard work and persistence can lead you to the place you want to be. Ash, thanks for being a great role model, for making me laugh, and for always having my back. The College of New Jersey is one lucky school to get such a special student next year. Congratulations. And our next presenter is Mrs. Lambusta.
Emma Bischoff.
Authentic, loyal, caring, determined. These are all words that I would use to describe Emma Bischoff. I've known Emma B. since her freshman year when she was a student in my English class. Though a bit quiet to start, Emma B. soon found her voice and used it in ways that would encourage, inspire, and motivate others both in and out of the classroom. This I've discovered by not only getting to spend another year with her in my sophomore English class, but also through her participation in the newspaper and yearbook clubs throughout her 4 years at Seneca. In so many ways, I'm going to miss Emma B. I'll miss her smile, her creativity, her strong sense of self, and her willingness to go above and beyond whenever possible. Emma B., you've inspired me, and you've made me so proud to know you. I wish you nothing but the best in everything you do. Up next, Mrs. Collins.
All right, my People's Choice this year was a top draft pick. He was definitely well sought after, and I just happened to be on my game that day with emails. My People's Choice is Garrett Blessy. So he came to me the other day, and he was like, Hamps, I got, we'll call the teacher Mr. Dudley so he can remain anonymous. Mr. Dudley wrote me a letter, and it almost brought me to tears. And I was like, what for? He's like, well, he wanted to pick me for People's Choice, but somebody else did. And if you can't see me, there was an eye roll. I'm like, great. In my head, I got to read this letter. I got to know what it says. And he's like, do you want to read it? I'm like, sure, if you really want me to. And I read it, and it was from the heart. And I find this important because this award is more than academics or athletics. And if you know Mr. Dudley, he has no emotions. So the fact that he wrote this was really, really touching. I knew from the first day of school that I was going to pick Garrett. And here's an example of why. The other day in class, he was on his phone. And I'm like, Garrett, first off, you're taking away from the educational experience. And what is more important than PR right now? And he's like, I'm watching my college roommate's memoriam. And I'm like, oh, that stinks. He's like, I know, it's 8 minutes long. Well, okay. He's like, I met him once. He met his roommate once, and he's in the memoriam. I'm like, wow, that's really special. How did you know you were in his memoriam? He's like, he texted me. Garrett, a memoriam's when they die. So he's alive. He meets people one time, and they remember him like he's a good friend for a long time. You're never in a bad mood except for that one day when we thought something major, the sky was falling. Your laugh is infectious. You have influenced me and made this year fun and always kept it interesting. I wish you luck, but no, you don't need it. You'll be successful in any endeavor. Thanks for making marketing grape again. And next up is Miss Betts.
It's always tough to follow Miss Hamps. She does an awesome job up here. Again, congratulations to all the students. My People's Choice this year is Emily Briscoe. Earlier this year, I had 2 different students in 2 different grades on 2 separate writing assignments write about the positive impact Emily Briscoe has had on their lives. They described 2 different scenarios. It wasn't the same paper for each of them. And in each, Emily was the one to initiate a connection and later a friendship with someone yearning for one. At that time, I didn't really know this compassionate side of Emily. Emily is one of the most self-assured individuals I have ever encountered in my career. She knows her stuff, and she will always let you know just how much she knows about it. I'm fascinated and impressed by the breadth and depth of Emily's knowledge on any given topic. And after reading about her positive impact on my own students and getting to build up a rapport with her this past semester, I now also see the breadth and depth to Emily's character, and I am equally as fascinated and impressed. Congratulations, Emily. And next up is Madame Weber.
Kat Brown, would you please join me here at the podium? This young lady lightens a room with her bright smile and friendly nature. Her artistic talents attest to her creative power and her ability to converse in a language other than her native tongue, and is a testament to her intelligence, motivation, and global perspective. In the 4 years I have had the privilege of being your teacher, Kat, I have seen a shy young freshman develop into a confident young woman who is equipped to take on the world with her many and varied talents. Kat's love of family, art, world languages, foreign cultures, and travel indicate her onward progress as a vital member of the next generation of leaders. I need not remind Kat, n'oubliez pas d'être incroyable chaque jour, which means don't forget to be incredible every day, for she already is. Congratulations. Well deserved. Okay. Please welcome Mrs. Wiesen.
Hi again. I'm surprised that I didn't hear, Nikki, hey, Nikki. Oh, in fact, I did hear that. I heard that in the hallway. Yeah, Dev, it's you. Come on. I don't pick a People's Choice every year, and here's why. I'm a teacher at Seneca, and I meet wonderful young people every year. There are so many extraordinary and unique personalities that walk the hallways every day, every year. It's only every so often that a student comes along that connects with me on a level that I decide that this young person needs to be recognized for their essence. Let me give you some examples of Devin Cassis's essence. So sometimes I'll hear, yo, Wiesen, you want to write me a pass? Wiesen, tell Wiltsy to calm down. And then somehow, over the course of this year, we became on a first-name basis, I don't know. And then I'll hear something like, Nikki, yo, Nikki's about to throw down. Nikki, that's my homegirl. And by the way, I can assure you that she's not taking offense to the fact that I'm imitating her, because she can imitate many of my colleagues. I won't list for you the teachers that she can mimic, but I will admit that among them, she does a pretty good Nikki. It would be awesome if the person up next, which is Mr. Myra, that would be fantastic if Dev could do Mr. Myra. I won't put her on the spot. I never saw her do Mr. Myra. But I will let you in on a little secret. Underneath her tough exterior and that mouth that seems to lack a filter, she is a kind soul. Seneca won't be the same next year without Dev. I know that Dev is ready for whatever the world has in store for her. Look out, world, she's coming for you. My People's Choice, Devin Cassis. All right, and up next is Mr. Myra.
Yeah, I'm behind you.
I have to say this night is one of my favorite nights because as small and welcoming as Seneca is, there are students that I know the faces, but these are the true unsung heroes because they don't always make the headlines, they're not always at the front of the line, but here they are doing great things. And I kind of looked up today, I did look up, what is an unsung hero? It's a person who makes a substantial but unrecognized contribution. A person whose bravery is unknown or unacknowledged. So tonight, you guys get acknowledged for doing great things and not being acknowledged for it. I'd like to call up my People's Choice, Bo Zipiol. I had a little quote, and I live by a lot of quotes, but the time will pass anyway. You can either spend it creating the life you want or spend it living the life you don't want. The choice is yours. Back freshman year when I was Bo's guidance counselor, he was pretty much where he didn't want to be. Unmotivated student, right? Unmotivated person, right? But he had one great thing, and I knew then he was going to be my unsung hero. He wanted to change. And we talked a lot about that, and he did change. And one of the first things he did was to get himself involved here, and that was with the track program. And he did that, and then the next thing he did was start getting involved in the classroom. And he's the guy that went from here, and he's on a steady climb, and I don't know where it's going to end, but I'm excited to watch. I coached soccer, and in the fall, now Bo was a thrower at the time, and Bo was smaller, right, at the time, and a little bit bigger, and I almost died. I was coaching soccer, and I turned and saw the cross-country team, and I say, "Hey, Myra," and I looked, and it was this young man now running cross-country. And it just made me so proud that he indeed made those changes that he was capable of, and he became this outstanding young man today. So, Bo, proud of you, and congratulations. Next up is Mr. Wiltsey.
First off, congratulations to all the award winners tonight. My People's Choice Award is Caitlin Deaver. Now, teaching is an amazing job. I think that's come across with a few of my colleagues tonight. But like any other job, you know, it's you have your good days and your bad. You have the days that at the end of the day you say to yourself, man, every lesson hit home, every note was understood, that was an amazing day, you know, that's why I do this job. And then sometimes, you know, you have a class of 30 seniors and they're just sitting there going, Wiltsey, I can't do this anymore, I'm done, you need to just stop talking, I've had it. And then you look at the calendar and you realize it's October. All right, these things happen. And, but in the midst of all of that, you know, sometimes you see Caitlin in the back of the room rolling her eyes and shaking her head at the behavior of some of her classmates. And it is a reaffirming thing for me. And like I said, she's reaffirms the efforts that you make every day as a teacher and a coach. She is authentic, she is mature, she is real, and she has been a wonderful leader on the track team, on the girls' track team. I coach her. She's been the best thrower on the team the last 2 years, and you know, it's been a real pleasure coaching her and having her in class. Caitlin Deaver. Next up is Mrs. Gosker.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Sorry.
This senior class is a little special to me because my first year at Seneca, they were all freshmen. And watching them grow over the years has been amazing, especially my People's Choice. I never had a pleasure of teaching this student in my class, but I did have the chance to coach her in lacrosse and also watched her grown up her entire life. My People's Choice for 2017 is Darcy Dimmick. Darcy hasn't changed much over the years. Besides being a little taller, she still has a great optimistic personality, says hello to everyone with a great smile on her face, and is willing to push herself. Seeing Darcy grow over the years has been amazing, going from the youngest of three chasing her brother and sister around the backyard to a person that when you mention her name to anyone, they have a smile on their face and nothing but positive things to say about her. If I have a daughter, I hope she is as sweet, kind, and driven just like Darcy is. Good luck next year in Maryland, and welcome to the next chapter of your life. Next, we have Mrs. Jamie Meyer for Sue Durbin.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm reading for Mrs. Durbin, and I'll just bring the student up now because all these words are going to be from Mrs. Durbin, not me. Jessica Durso. Congrats. I think this is so... Sorry. Okay, Jess, you are simply the best. Although a minor health issue caught you off guard during your junior year, you kept on marching. I admired your patience and positive attitude as it took some time to get all the testing completed for your doctor to determine your treatment plan. Throughout the entire process, you maintained your grades and came to see me on a consistent basis for continued monitoring. I know you're on the right track now in taking care of yourself. I want to publicly thank you for your text messages while I was out on family leave this past fall. The best part about being a school nurse is knowing students like you have compassion for others. Once again, Jess, you are simply the best, all caps. May your future be filled with happiness and success. You deserve it. Send a text or two to stay in touch. And, okay. Thank you. Next up, Mrs. Myers. That's me. Okay. Okay, my People's Choice nominee this year is truly a remarkable kid. He works hard every day in class. He's organized, he's respectful, he's polite, and participates in class all the time. He's kind, so kind. One of my favorite things about him, though, is he's never, not one single time, left the classroom without saying, "Thank you, have a nice day." Oh. Okay, so on top of all of these things, all of these wonderful things, he's also humble. So it's so important to me that I chose this student because I'm not sure that he actually knows how amazing he really is. So Lance Eckstein, I hope that you know that now. Okay, next up is Mrs. LaBeouf.
My People's Choice is Molly Egan. Molly has had to deal with some challenging health issues which have caused her to have to give up things she enjoyed doing and adjust some future plans, yet she remains upbeat and positive presence at Seneca. Molly is at many Seneca events and constantly supports and cheers on others. Her ready smile, lively hellos brighten my day, and I'm sure they have the same effect on others. I applaud her for facing adversity, remaining strong, and true to her bubbly personality. Her attitude and temperament will take her far.
Thank you.
Next up, Miss Wren.
Good evening and congratulations to everyone. I can remember this person traveled through the hallways in a panic their freshman year, and they were always in a rush, struggling to get to class on time. Everything seemed to be a struggle. Junior year, Evan Fisher. Evan Fisher was my student, and I saw a much more confident person, someone who would smile, tell me stories, and someone that was always polite. Today, he is an Eagle Scout. He walks through the hallways with confidence and purpose. He is more involved in school activities, and like many other Seneca students, he is ready to go off into this world with his head held high. Evan, I've watched you change over the past 4 years, and I know you are ready to make your mark in this world with confidence and self-esteem that will carry you into success. My People's Choice Award goes to Evan Fisher. Next up is Ms. Warwick.
Good evening. My People's Choice is Mr. Brody Fitzpatrick. Here, Brody, here's a little something. You're gonna need it. You can open it. So, Brody is a one-of-a-kind individual. He is intelligent, kind-hearted, quirky, and loves to learn. Brody's passion for learning is why he is my People's Choice. Over the course of 3 years, yes, 3 years, Brody, Brody and I have spent time together exploring life through biology, creating messes in chemistry, and really creating messes in advanced chemistry. But what Brody doesn't know is all the different things that I have learned because of him. So here's a few. Number 1, German folk songs are amazing. That's the first one. Number 2, honeybees will magically appear on your whiteboard. Number 3, history lessons are applied to all science lessons, no matter what. And number 4, a big smile will always get you out of trouble. Now, this one has a story behind it. Brody decides to bring in a coyote skull. I was super excited about this. Well, we needed to clean it up. So Brody and I boiled the skull, got all the, gross stuff off of it, and we had to get rid of it somehow. So we went outside. Well, nobody held the door open, so we were locked out. The only way we could get back in, this was late because it took a long time to boil this skull, the only way we could get back in was to beg and plead to ask Mr. Cornell to open the door with this smelly coyote skull. He was like, no, no, no way. I'm like, Brody, flash the smile. And he did it. And last, number 5, this goes with your gift. To always be true to who you are. That's what Brody has taught me. No matter if you have goggles, a lab coat, gloves, and all. So hopefully Brody has learned a few things along the way from me also, as he continues his education at Manhattan College while he's studying science. Thank you, Brody, for all the lessons. I will truly miss you. Up next is Mrs. Timpano.
Lizzie Gazelle. I'm so excited that the opportunity has finally come for me to brag about my People's Choice, because those who know Lizzie know she's far too humble to do it herself. For 4 years, Lizzie has quietly forged her path at Seneca, both academically and athletically, as well as in the community. She has played the pivotal role of supportive classmate and teammate, a role that might be hard for some people, but not for Lizzie. She embodies what it means to put others before herself. I'll never forget when she was playing freshman soccer and the entire team had broken an important team rule. They were nervous about my reaction, and before I could start my lecture, Lizzie stepped forward and apologized on behalf of the team. I knew then and there this was a kid who was true to the morals instilled in her by her family. Lizzie's always been able to see the bigger picture, to learn a life lesson from everything she experiences. She's going to take her quiet determination with her as she pursues her education at Millersville, where I have no doubt she will choose a path that will further her commitment to others. Thank you for everything, Lizzie. Next up is Mr. Bill Cornell.
I just have to clarify one thing. Miss Vorwerk, well, I got in a lot of trouble for letting that smelly coyote back in the building. Every year as an administrator, one of our first things that we do is get to meet a freshman who we know is going to be a little problematic. Well, as a freshman, my nominee had a difficult first year. On the first day that I met him, he was waiting to meet with Mrs. LaBeouf, and we all know what that means. However, I was impressed with this young man, and as he always presented himself as mature and an honest person. During the next few years, I got to know my nominee. I found him to be engaging and always looking for more. As he moves to the next phase of his life by joining the Air Force, I'm honored to recognize my nominee for People's Choice Award, Isaiah Gwaltney. Isaiah. Next up, Mr. Abate.
Einstein said, "Setting an example is not the main means of influencing others, it's the only means." My People's Choice nominee inspires and leads by example on a daily basis, whether competing on the field or in the classroom. Throughout the soccer season, she was the foundation of the team's success. Not only did she break the career record for goals, with her guidance, she led the team to the South Jersey Championship. No matter what the situation or the circumstance, the team took their cues from her natural ability to lead. It has been a pleasure to be her coach and teacher for the past 4 years. I just hope she has learned half as much from me as I have from her. She is kind, she is humble, and I've never heard anybody speak negatively about her, which is impressive. This is high school. If the past is any indication of the future, wishing you luck would be unnecessary. You are going to accomplish amazing feats. I can't wait to see what your next chapter has in store for you at Arcadia. They're lucky to have you. My People's Choice recipient is Mackenzie Hoffman. Next up is Mr. Brad Bauer.
Thank you. My People's Choice is Taylor Iacono. Taylor has that way about her to make you smile or laugh when you need it most. Whether it's a simple "Hello, Mr. Bauer" in the hallway, or asking me to sing the national anthem before every single basketball game, or perhaps it's the time when she actually took the microphone off of the table and was singing in the gym with her teammates before the freshman game, or the JV game, which, by the way, that's when I realized you were never singing the national anthem. Or perhaps is when she was in phys ed trying to tell me how awesome she was in PE and how she was a stellar PE athlete when I was actually trying to observe the teacher. Taylor always provided a bright spot in my day. Taylor, Best wishes as you leave the halls of Seneca behind, and know that you made a difference in the lives of others. Thank you for making the past 4 years a little brighter for me. Next up is Mrs. Doolittle.
Good evening. An old Chinese proverb says, "Use your smile to change the world. Don't let the world change your smile." My People's Choice for 2017 definitely uses her smile each and every day to light up her world, her family and friends' worlds, and our world here at Seneca. Jenna Ingrao is My People's Choice for 2017. Jenna's been a great friend, a wonderful neighbor, an awesome dog walker, a babysitter, a driveway chalk artist, and we've also shared a few push-up freeze pops over the years. I've had the pleasure of knowing Jenna since they moved next door in 2002. Our families have played together, shared holidays, and celebrated each other's successes for over 15 years. It's been a pleasure watching Jenna enjoy each challenge life has offered and continue to immerse herself in so many opportunities here at Seneca. Jenna's smile lights up the hallways, and I have no doubt that she will shine as she moves on to excel at TCNJ. Congratulations, Jenna. Continue just being you. And our next presenter is Mrs. Hoy.
Good evening. This is such a great night, and you are all such wonderful people. My very special, wonderful person is Hyun Jung. Hyun brings so much enthusiasm to Seneca. For the past 4 years, she has been instrumental in making Asian Club both a fun and valuable cultural experience for all. This year, she served as president and successfully implemented new programs and recruited several new members. We will all miss her energy and all her great K-pop dance moves. We know she's going to have a great future. Good luck. Our next presenter is Mr. DiVincenzo.
Good evening. Lindsay Kane, come on over. Lindsay went well and above the classroom for this nomination. Lindsay had one of her photographs selected for a 2017 Drexel High School photography contest. And we're in the photo, she's in my photo 2 class, and she's taken, the picture was actually taken when we went on our class trip to the sculpture garden in Hamilton. The exhibit took place in February and March, but it was really weird. I received notice about this in an email, in November. I wasn't sure what was going on. I was like, this is pretty cool. So I asked her about it. She goes, yeah, I got it, one of my pictures in this show for Drexel. She didn't make much of a fuss, so I'm thinking it's a small show, maybe New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware were involved. So I go to the ceremony, opening ceremony with my wife, and the facts about this show, which blew me away. 120 students were accepted into the show. 1,900 photographs were submitted. From 671 individual students. 26 states were represented, and work from 34 states were submitted. I couldn't believe that. And there were 6 award winners. And it was just a great day to see how well she had done. Lindsay is polite, intelligent, hardworking, and she's very humble. So like, she's up here probably staring at me like, get me off the stage. And she will be studying photography at Drexel in the fall. So congratulations. Next is Mr. Spector.
There are certain students you meet along the way who strive to make your school better. Maybe they make it better by being a member of student council or president of National Honor Society. Maybe they make it better by being captain of a sports team. Maybe they do it through performing community service with such clubs as buddy clubs. Maybe they're an outstanding role model for our younger students. What if I told you that Allison Lyons did all of those things, but none of them are why I chose her as my People's Choice winner? Allie, come on up. I chose Allie because she makes our school better by making other people smile, me included. And there is not a day that I walk by Allison that she does not say hello to me. Her ability to brighten your day with a simple conversation is remarkable. Her uncanny sense of humor always makes you laugh. She brightens up any room and all of Seneca High School. My People's Choice Award winner, Allison Lyons. Next up is Mrs. Sandy Langen.
Hello. My People's Choice goes to someone who has the biggest heart, Jason Magipinto. I was out on medical leave this year for about 10 weeks, and during that time, Jason sent me an email every day telling me how things were going in school and telling me that he missed me. I struggled being away from school for that long, but you helped me make it through it. So thank you. You're really exceptional, and you have a special place in my heart.
Yes. Thank you.
We're going to go this way. Next up, Miss Mary Ann Devine.
You gotta love Jason. Before I start with my People's Choice, I asked if I could have extra nominees this year, and I was denied. This senior class has probably, in 36 years of pediatric nursing, I have never met a group of students or kids like I have met for this group. The senior class, I would nominate each and every one. Parents, if you're a parent of a senior, you should be proud. In Disney, this was the best group I've ever had. So thanks, guys. Give yourselves a hand. I will truly miss this class. My People's Choice this year is Shay Matson. I first met Shay Matson freshman year when she was a carefree, fun, adventurous young lady. I do security after school, and I used to go, Shay, get off the table, get out of the plans, get over here. The summer after her freshman year, life changed, causing her to be more reticent about life and not wanting to come to school. When she was in school, she had a difficult time staying in class. She had an amazing group of teachers her sophomore year who worked with her and would send her with her work to the health office if her classroom became too stressful. At times, the health office became Shay's second classroom. Junior year, Shay was better and would only come in a few times a month to rest or chill from a stressful situation. By senior year, she would walk in, smile, and say, "Hey, Mom, I don't need you anymore, but I still love you." Nothing made me happier than to hear those words. I knew she was on her way and ready for 2 graduations, high school and college. I will miss you next year, Shay, but I know you'll be successful and always follow your dreams. Our next presenter is Mrs. Meyer.
When my People's Choice student was nominated, she said to me, "Why me? What did I ever do?" So can you imagine leaving all of your friends in one part of the state and moving to a new school in another part of the state for your senior year of high school? That's what Allie Mena did this year, and because of the fearless way she handled the move, she's my People's Choice. Allie came into our senior English class, and her self-confidence immediately won my heart. Feisty and opinionated, but never inappropriate or disrespectful, Allie quickly established herself as a young lady who was willing to jump right in and be part of the class. She was open and honest in class conversations and even shared some of her struggles. While some people find it difficult to be placed in groups with people they don't know, Allie embraced it and never complained. I learned Allie loves music and going to concerts, and she has a crazy menagerie of animals at home, hedgehogs and snakes and chickens. And I also learned that Allie had very strong convictions against drugs and wasn't afraid to stand up for her beliefs in front of her peers. I'm so proud of Allie and all the adjustments that she has had to make this year. She has exciting plans to go on to college, and I can't wait to see where life takes her. Congratulations, Allie. Next up is Mr. Callahan.
Good evening. I wanted to just take a moment to congratulate all the nominees and also give a special shout out to the 11 students that I had the distinct privilege of serving as your school counselor. I'm glad that other members of the Seneca family recognize and notice how special you are, as much as I get to see in my office. Resilient, loyal, honest, and I stress the word honest, and passionate are just a few words to describe my People's Choice nominee, Michelle Murray. Yep. It has been a pleasure getting to know and working with Michelle for the past 2 years as her school counselor. Michelle is the type of student that stands out because she is always true to herself, regardless of circumstance or audience. Continue to light up the world with your passionate and energetic personality. Wishing you nothing but health and happiness as you make the transition to college at Bloomfield and begin the next chapter of your life. And then next up, Ms. Pooter.
My People's Choice this year goes to someone who is not only an amazing person, kind, caring, creates a positive atmosphere, she's also talented, brave, and boundless. Natalie Odell is my People's Choice for the... I'm gonna keep going, okay? Natalie Odell is my People's Choice for all those reasons, but most of all, for the impact she has had on my life. When you were younger, your mother used to sing to you, "You are my sunshine." Sorry. And those words couldn't be truer about someone like you. Natalie, you are my sunshine. You make me happy. When skies are gray, boy, have we been through some gray times. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Natalie, you are like sunshine. You're bright and cheery. You bring warmth on a cold day. Your smile can change the darkest day, and every person that meets you grows and learns from being with you. When I think of the last 4 years together, I just keep thinking of Winnie the Pooh and how lucky we are to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Natalie, thank you for everything. I love you. Next up, Mrs. Myra.
Well, as another birthday's gone by, you kind of start to look at your future. Like, where am I going in my future? My future is right here at Seneca. It's nights like this that are so warm and dear to our hearts that I could be up here with a cane, 80 years old, and still be here, because you guys are just amazing. So, let's go for my people's choice. She is selfless, courageous, and genuine. And these are words that capture the essence of my 2017 People's Choice, Julie Polliner. This is all Pooter's fault. I hope I get through this. Okay. It's been a rewarding experience to see Julie mature into a young woman who is focused on her career goals. She demonstrates bravery, dedication, and optimism on a daily basis. Julie is a role model and an inspiration to everyone, especially me. As life takes its twists and turns, Julie has been confronted with extreme challenges. This has impacted her extracurricular activities in such a way that she has had to pursue different activities to fulfill her interests and happiness. I am so inspired by Julie's outlook and ability to focus on the positive. Through all these experiences that have molded Julie's outlook and character, I find you to be confident, self-sufficient, and always managing your needs. She's continually motivated to strive towards her goals, not stopping until you reach the standards you set to achieve. I believe Julie will continue to grow academically and as a professional. You're dedicated to studying to be a physical therapist, and you're not going to let anything stand in the way. I am so proud of you, Julie. I am encouraged by your strength and your integrity. And the following quote by Angela Duckworth truly depicts your spirit. Grit is passion and perseverance for the very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future day in and day out, not just for a week, not just for a month, but for years, and working really hard to make your future a reality. Grit is living like life's a marathon and not a sprint. Julie Polliner, you are true grit, sister. Next up, Mr. Donahue.
All right, so I've been waiting to pick this guy for my People's Choice for 4 years. So my People's Choice Award goes to JJ Scarpello. Jace. JJ and I have been tied together from the very beginning of his Seneca High School experience. We probably go back even further to when I was playing football at Seneca and he was coming to our games as a little kid. Even our moms are friends, dating back to when they used to work Rutgers soccer camps together. I'm hoping that Jay and I will also remain friends long after his time is done at Seneca. In class, I had the pleasure of having him for 2 years in World Geography and AP US History too. He demonstrated a tremendous work ethic, usually achieving some of the highest grades in class. However, this wasn't his greatest asset in the classroom. His greatest asset happened to be this class always revolved around JJ due to his positive demeanor and his ability to relate with every kid in class. It doesn't matter who you are, JJ Scarpello is a guy that you want to be around. Our bond grew the strongest out on the athletic fields. Jay is one of the few students who I've gotten to teach, but also coach for all 3 seasons, football, basketball, and most recently baseball. Our common connection, however, happened to be out on the football field. We both were former quarterbacks, now former, it's scary to say that. But together we put in a lot of time and effort to turn JJ into the best football player that Seneca High School has ever seen. But this, again, was only a small part of our experience together. As much fun as it was watching him play on Friday nights, or more recently out on the baseball diamond, I more so enjoyed being around him during the grind of our seasons. Just having fun at practice during the week, laughing, telling a lot of stories, and becoming great friends has truly been a great experience that I'll remember the most. There was no other selection for my People's Choice Award this year, JJ Scarpello. The next presenter is Mrs. Donahue.
Good evening. My People's Choice Award this year goes to Reagan Tarashevitz. Reagan represents the best of our Seneca family. She started out as a quiet and shy girl and has grown into a confident and courageous young woman. Reagan is a scholar athlete, a smart cookie who played volleyball and basketball, and this year had to deal with some physical adversity. She had ACL surgery. I admire the way she embraced her high school experience, involving herself in everything and supporting everyone. Always mature and wise, this year she put herself out there and interviewed for the position of senior captain in our newly formed Green and Gold Games. As captain, she set the bar high with her passion, her participation, and her promotion of our games, proving invaluable leadership. Next year, Ray Ray will attend college at Stevens Institute, where she will study engineering. She's also committed to the Air National Guard, and in a time when we need strong and courageous, dependable leaders, I can't think of anyone I want representing us more. Congratulations, Reagan. Next up, Mr. Colombo.
All right. Last but not least, Juice, you want to come up? Okay, students are chosen for the People's Choice Award for many different reasons. My choice for this year is someone who is brave, hardworking, determined, and funny once in a while. He is a student that his teachers love and an athlete that his coaches wish they could have another season with. He has the unique ability to bring out the best in the people around him. Sometimes I call him Jarrell, most of the time I call him Juice, but tonight I call him my People's Choice.
All right, that's awesome. All right, so just some thanks here. Thanks to everybody who came this evening and showed your support for these impressive students. Wear those medals proudly, guys. You should probably wear them to the carnival tomorrow. Absolutely, just walk around with them. People's Choice, People's Choice. Wear them to graduation. All right. Seneca Renaissance extends a heartfelt thank you to all who have worked to make this evening a success, especially Kirk Seeley, Kurt Eisenhuth, Don Ogle, Sharon, by the way, TV crew, the custodial crew, and the nominating staff. And a huge shout out to the Seneca Renaissance advisors, Mrs. Maureen McMichael and Miss Casey Mikowski. It's like a thankless job to put this all together. So don't forget to stop by the cafeteria for some light refreshments. And let's have you guys all stand. Show your medals. Show them. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Yeah, man, good job. Good job, Vic.